In this poll, I asked you to vote for the most difficult type of questions in Ielts listening. Just like me, you said multiple choice. There is just so much to read and there are so many confusing details. In this lesson, let's get started. There are two types of these questions. Choose the correct letter, A, B, or C. In this case, you need to find one correct answer out of 3. Or choose 2 letters from A to E. Then you need to find 2 correct answers. For each of them, you get 1 point. All the questions we're using today are from Cambridge practice tests, so they're just like the real exam papers, and I highly recommend using these books in your practice. I find that the difficulty of these questions is partly determined by how long your options are. Sometimes you see just 1 or 2 words per option. Sometimes each is sentence long. Let's start with short options to warm up, and I'd like you to apply these 2 tips. If options are short, correct answers are usually paraphrased. Beware of traps. These are options where the keyword is repeated but the answer is wrong. Please count how many questions you answer correctly. Okay, you're about to hear garden and some land used for farming. Here are options. Please read them, you have a few seconds, and then you will hear the recording.
The estate consists of the house, gardens, parkland and farm, and it dates back to the 14th century. The original house was replaced in the late 17th century, and of course it has had a large number of owners. Almost all of them have left their mark, generally by adding new rooms, like the ballroom and conservatory, or by demolishing others. The farm looks much as it's always done, although the current owner has done a great deal of work to the flower beds. Big houses like Oniton had dozens of servants until the 1920s or 30s, and we've tried to show what their working lives were like. Photographs, of course, don't give much of an idea, so instead, as you go round the house, you'll see volunteers dressed up as 19th century servants going about their work. They'll explain what they're doing and tell you their recipes or what tools they're using. We've just introduced this feature to replace the audio guide we used to have available.
Let's have a look at the first question and the transcript. First of all, the question says, many past owners made changes to not just one, but many. Now, in the first sentence, we just have the description of the estate and that it had a large number of owners. Okay, so what changes have they made? Almost all of them had left their mark generally by adding a new room, like the ballroom and conservatory, or by demolishing others. So adding a new room is making changes to the house. That's the correct answer. But actually, there is another sentence. Let's check. The farm, so we have a word from one of our options, looks more like it's always done. So no changes have been made to the farm. Although the current owner has done a great deal of work to the flower beds. So flower beds, that's our garden. But it's only the current owner who made changes, and we need many past owners. So again, this option is incorrect. But actually, as soon as you hear the correct answer in Ielts listening, like B, you can move on to the next question because the answer will not change. Now, question number 2. Visitors can learn about the work of servants from... Now let's have a look at our transcript. Okay, so here we just learned that there were a lot of servants in this house. Next, photographs. So that's option B. Of course, don't give much of an idea. So this is an incorrect option. So instead, you go around the house and you see volunteers dressed up as servants. This means they are in costumes. They are dressed up, going about their work, and they will explain what they're doing and tell you their recipes and what tools they're using. So you can learn about the work of servants from people in costume. That's the correct answer. But again, we have another sentence. We've just introduced this feature to replace the audio guide. Again, we have one of our keywords from option A, we used to have available. Used to means it was true in the past, but it's not true anymore. They don't have audio guides anymore. So the correct answer is C. As you might have noticed, both